It's the Not Your
We're
Average Guys
back.
show. We're back. Another week. Dan's
Um,
wrapping up some
it's serving
fiber
string.
line, maybe? I don't
Serving
even know.
string?
Serving string. Why
Yeah.
is it on a spool
Why
and not
not?
on like a little server machine?
I don't have a
You have
serving
one of those
machine.
dandy little
I do not.
servers? No?
I don't have a bow press
Man.
or a server or anything. And I cracked this thing.
Hmm.
I dropped it and that broke, and it's even
Yeah?
harder to keep it spooled
Busted
right
the
after that. I need one of
yeah.
those, but I really
Yeah,
don't
now
do
you really
enough.
need a little server.
I really don't do enough work on my bow to like warrant
String
it,
maintenance.
but my what is it? One of my little dampeners that was tied onto the bow, like ties
Mm-hmm.
onto the string.
Yeah.
Um, I was shooting the other day,
Yeah.
and it was pulling my
Mm-hmm.
serving off of the place where the cams go around. And so it had pulled that loose, and I had to just serve something to kind of keep it in place until I can actually get, I don't know, something else tied in there, I guess.
Hmm.
But
Um
you've been
Interesting.
taking your, have you been taking
Well,
your
what are you gonna
shot
do?
every day? Well, I'm probably just going
No.
to leave it like it
Mm-mm.
is for
You?
now. Oh yeah. Yeah. Um,
You've
I
been
would
shooting every
say,
day?
yeah, pretty much. I've been shooting every day since we talked about it, like a month ago,
2 weeks ago?
3
3 weeks
weeks ago,
ago?
probably 3 weeks. Yeah.
Nice.
Um, I had
Yeah,
I've been,
my target is in pretty bad shape, and I have started making a new one,
a new target. Yeah.
but I have not completed it. So, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So I have, that's one of my subjects for, it's a kind of a two-part subject. Um, Shooting archery. Jimmy, you don't shoot,
yeah.
right? Never have?
No, I mean
Okay.
I have, but I don't own a bow. I've
How long have you been shooting, Darcy?
Uh
The 80s?
so yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I'm gonna
Okay.
say I probably started shooting a bow when I was 6, 5,
First
something.
compound bow. First time you started shooting a compound. Because
First compound
I was
bow.
probably 5 or 6 when I started shooting. Yeah.
My first compound bow that I owned, I bought from my dad in uh would have been like 94 probably,
Okay.
I think.
I think I was probably
So I've been 14 or so.
11 or 12, so probably about the same time. Pretty close. I think I was 11 when, or no, I was 10 when I bought it, but I had to get it to 45 pounds before I was allowed to hunt with it. So I was
Uh
11 before I was
yeah.
allowed to hunt with it.
Yeah, I just shot before that, I just shot recurves. My dad had I actually have my first recurve bow out in the
Okay.
garage. My dad gave it to me not very long ago because my kids kind of are interested sometimes.
Hmm.
So I've got my little very first recurve, and then I also have an old I think it's a bear left-handed bow recurve because Evabelle does some things left. I mean, she's left-handed, and she does some like sporting type things right-handed, and some
Hmm.
things left-handed.
I think
So
I borrowed
he
that
had
for a
that
while.
left-handed bow, and
Didn't I borrow that for a while back in the day? The
I don't
left-handed
think
one?
so.
I think I did.
From my dad,
And from you, the left-handed one.
I've only had it for. I've only had it for. I don't know. maximum 2 years.
Then you had a different one, because when I lived in Higginsville,
I
I would shoot in
have,
my backyard with a left-handed recurve that I got from you. Maybe
was
you
it,
borrowed it from your dad for a minute for me.
maybe,
I don't
yeah,
remember
it's
much about
possible
it. I
that,
feel like it had black face surfaces on the limbs and
yeah,
like a wood grain oak, or not an oak, like a walnutty kind of looking handle sort of thing.
yeah, that sounds like the one. Yeah, I mean, maybe my dad has had it for a long time, and I was pretty sure, I bet it was a different one. I bet
Okay.
my dad has a left-handed recurve because I'm pretty sure this one came from my grandpa.
Okay.
I think my grandpa had this one, and my dad brought it from his house and gave it to
Okay.
me. I'm not sure though. It's possible that this is the one that he had a long time ago, and he just gave it to me for whatever reason. He shoots right-handed.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know that I had it because I think that my dad bought a bow at a garage sale, and it had a whole pile of aluminum arrows with the feather fletchings. And I was like,
Hmm.
oh, cool. I could shoot those on, even though they're 3-blade arrows, I could shoot those on a recurve. And I'm pretty sure I borrowed it from you.
Yeah,
And then once I ran down through all
yeah.
of
I
those
might
arrows, I
have
never
grabbed
bought
it from
them
my
again.
dad or something.
Yeah. So anyway, so I got my bow out. I tuned it up a little bit.
Hmm.
They are so weird because you can pick them up and you can be like, this thing's shooting dead on. And then you pick it up one day, and whether it's something about how you're shooting, something about the bow, at 50 yards, your thing will just be off. It'll just be like go
I
from
was just
I'm aiming here and then
maybe
now
30
it's
minutes
hitting
ago
down here.
watching. I was just maybe 30 minutes ago watching a video on drawing,
Hmm.
talking about shoulder and scapula movement and height and all that,
What it'll
as
mess
far
up
as
as much your
just
shot.
keeping,
So,
well, yeah, just getting a not even just consistent, but proper draw,
hmm
so that you're not like, it was saying, if you're up here, it's too much in your shoulder, and also pinches and kinks your neck.
hmm
And so, and if you're all in your shoulder, that's not right. But it was showing, and I need to, look into this stuff and make my draw
yeah.
better. But it was talking about how to use like your shoulder blade, basically,
hmm
you know,
Yeah, drawing isn't in your
anyway.
biceps and your chest, it's all in your back and your shoulder blade. Well, so I
Hmm.
have this friend, it's
Did you go
not
out on
cousin
Monday?
Ben. I did not. Dude, when we were talking, it was feeling like fall. Remember? Like the weather was like
And then on
every
Monday it
morning
was 100 degrees out.
at like 6 in the
Yeah,
morning, it was already like 80 degrees. And it was like,
yeah.
nah, it's back to
I think it
no.
was,
It was hot
yeah.
underneath.
Okay.
So I didn't go
I
out.
didn't either.
Um, so we were shooting last Sunday, and this friend of mine named Ben, who you probably know, older Ben, not a young Ben. Um, he just came driving up, and I had been talking to him on the phone about shooting, and he was like, "Oh, you got your bows out. You guys got," because I had a bunch of Judas friends over, and they were shooting crossbows and bows and stuff. And we have like a 20, 30, 40, 50-yard target set up right off of my new front porch. And I do
Hmm.
have to not go out there and shoot too much, but I do kind of go out there and shoot to like get my mind off the project once in a while, right? Well, then Ben
Nice.
showed up a few days later. I forget what day. Oh, it was the next Saturday. So the next Saturday, Ben shows up with his bow that he bought, and he had sent me a picture of his target. And I mean, his target was like one of those like 5 foot by 5 foot targets, and his arrows were easily 4 feet apart at 20 yards, right?
Oh, okay.
Like all of them really hard to the right and like way off. So I'm like, what kind of bow is this guy shooting?
And you're
And
like,
he's
you need
shooting.
to come over and we need to work on this.
Well, he brought it. I didn't even.
Wait,
I
is
didn't
he
even.
pulling a Dustin? Is he? He's not pulling a Dustin, is he?
No, he's not. It's that
Shooting a
level
right-handed bow
thing.
left-handed?
No, but it is that. It looks a lot like an old whitetail too, but it's the type that's like a split limb. I forget. It's not a PSE, but it's another like 3-letter abbreviation, HMI or something like that. Just like that from that era of like
Hmm.
whitetail 2 style bows, right? Or my old PSE even.
Uh-huh.
So he gets his bow out and he's like looking at me shooting and he's like, man, he's like, you are just really good. And he's like pumping me up or whatever. And he's an the guy has a gift of encouragement, right? But then he starts shooting
Nice.
and
Okay.
like one time he'll shoot dead on middle of the target. And the next time he's like a foot high at 20 yards, and like, I'm not bragging, but like, I think a 20-yard group that's good is like maybe the size of your fist at the most is
Mhm.
like you can
Yeah.
work with that. You know, if you can hit that
And
consistently.
you're
Go ahead.
almost good with that because you're not beating your arrows up,
Yeah. But like,
getting in tighter than that.
if I work hard, I will damage arrows if I shoot 6 arrows at a target at 20 yards, like for sure. Because
Right.
they're not going to all
Right.
go in
You'll
perfectly
have
straight.
3
They're
of
going to
them
go
slapping
in
together.
and they're slapping each other and they're whacking the feathers off of them and stuff. So anyway,
Shooting through the veins. Yeah.
although those really blunt arrow tips that you got me are better about not piercing into the
For
veins and stuff because they're just like a
mm,
snubby nose on them. They're not a point
yeah.
because the point will
Yeah.
just hook into the vein and just anyway. So I'm showing
Yeah.
him on my bow how to shoot and trying to walk him through it so
Hmm.
he's looking at me shoot, right? And I'm talking about like getting a knock
Which
position. I'm
is he
talking
shooting
about
right-handed?
he's shooting right-handed, yeah. So then he's shooting his bow
So it's a
and he
mirror.
does
That's
have
handy.
a release, but he's doing this number when he draws, you know.
Hmm.
And he's at like 50 pounds, probably 50, 55 pounds on a bow that could go to 70, right? So I'm observing him shoot and I'm talking him through like not gripping the bow too much, like don't grip it and don't
Hmm.
hold your hand open because I'm showing him like if I hold my hand open, I'm engaging all of these muscles same as if I'm gripping it. So I'm either going to torque it or I'm going to like just like put too much muscle into my front hand. And I'm walking him through all this. And one of the times he finally is like, okay, so just leave my hand open. And he shoots and freaking doesn't put his wrist strap on and just like bang. First time he tries to
Launches
shoot
the
with it
bow.
open and he
Yep.
launches the bow. And I'm like, you got to wear the wrist strap.
But
You don't
does
want
he
to
have a wrist
tight.
strap?
He does.
He does have one.
But then he's
Okay.
nervous about it. So I'm walking him through and I'm like, well, I don't think that I can shoot this bow accurately left-handed. But I take his bow and I'm like, I
Hmm.
can shoot this. So I actually changed his sights around so that when I shoot it, it's just stacking arrows at 20 yards. And I'm like, there ain't nothing wrong with this bow. Like it's slow, but
Right.
it's on. So then I'm like telling him all of the, open hand. I'm like, don't lock your wrist out or don't lock your arm out. That's why you're having to wear that arm, protection. I'm like, you just want to be slightly bent. And I'm going through all
Hmm.
this stuff, talking about knock position, talking about touching the string with your nose. And I'm like, I don't know if I have said 5 times, like about like while I was shooting, I was like, so I have a kisser button. I have my nose touching the
Hmm.
string. I'm looking through the peep, and I'm also touching right here on my jaw with the back of my
Mm-hmm.
like T-handled release, right?
Yeah.
And I've walked him through the whole thing, and then I'm looking at him shoot, and I'm like, Ben, you need to look through your peep sight every time. And he's like, what do you mean the peep sight? What do you mean? And I'm like, this thing right here, are you looking through that hole? And he's like, oh, whoa, what is that? That's a peep sight? And I'm like, oh,
What was he looking through before?
nothing.
Just looking at the target?
He's just
He
like
was just
looking around the string.
he was just he was just looking at the front pin, and he has a release, but he was just like he sometimes he was tight to his face, sometimes. But think about it, you're right-handed, you're pushing the bow away from you. He should have been shooting off to the left of the target, I would have thought, because you'd think like you're holding the bow out here, you're going to shoot left. Well, anyway, and here's like, so
Sometimes, so sometimes it doesn't do that because if you're torquing
right.
the bow, it'll actually kick the arrow, and then when it reacts, it comes back.
Yeah. Well, and I adjusted his
When you, yeah,
rest
if you're
too.
torquing the string and the bow.
And his bow was, when he first started shooting, his arrow, and I know we've gone over this with your bow, but eye to peep to arrow,
Mm-hmm.
and the sights were like out like this. So like his arrow
Yeah.
was like, whew, his arrow itself was shooting. And so then I was like, well, when we first started shooting, I shot fingers, and I would bring my finger up to the corner of my mouth, and I said, and
Mm-hmm.
you want to like look through the string, like you're looking down the string, and like you are trying to see the pin through the string. And so you're literally, the string is there, and then you just kind of peek around the edge of the string, and that's as close to center as you could get when you didn't have a peep. And nobody had peep sights when I first started
Mm-hmm.
hunting, I don't think.
Right. Mm-mm.
So so I'm like, oh, Ben. And I'll tell you what, he went from like missing the target half the time to like probably a group like this in that little shooting session. And I felt so
Perfect.
dumb, because I was like, you don't, when you've done something for as long as I've done that, you're saying words, and you're never even thinking about the fact that the other person may not even know, like, they don't know what the word means, peep sight. And
Mm-hmm.
so they're not like, they're not even getting an image in their head. So they're just passing it over. I know I said to look through the peep sight, like, and I think he thought that the front reticle with the 3 pins was the
Yeah.
peep sight. He's like, I mean, I just started looking
He's
through the
like, oh,
peep
I've
sight.
always just called it the sight.
Yeah, probably. And I'm like, well, think about it, Ben. Like, you don't have any back sights. You don't have a knock position. I'm like, but whenever I draw with my setup, if my edge of my mouth is in my kisser, my nose is touching the string, and that my knuckle is just touching my jaw right here, I was like, I can't even see around the peep sight. Like it's that like natural to be looking through that thing. But you don't even realize that you can't teach someone if you've known something for so long.
That's how I
That,
feel when I'm teaching my daughter how to drive.
yeah, yeah, it's like you don't think about it anymore. Like it, you don't even like. Here's an example from me. People will be like, you don't need to turn your turn signal right then, and I'm like, I didn't know I was turning my turn signal. I just, I
Oh,
don't,
sure.
I don't even choose to use my turn signal.
Yeah, it's just a habit.
I have a complete habit, and the reason I have a habit is because it annoys the crap out of me whenever somebody else doesn't turn their turn signal on till they're turning. So like literally, like I might be 100 yards from something and I've already got my turn signal on. Looking in my rearview mirror. I've been rear-ended coming up the stop signs before. So I'm like turning my signal on like in a parking lot. Like I don't
Hmm.
think about it.
Do you turn your signal on when you're pulling into a parking space?
I don't even know.
He doesn't
Maybe
know.
He probably does.
it's possible.
Every once in a while, at least.
It probably
I
happens.
think I've done it. I think every once in a while I'll be like, "What?
Like,
I
why did I
just
do
turned
that?
my turn signal on.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
know.
pulling out of my. I'm pulling into my own garage."
Yeah. I I mean, like we've got an
Which is a quarter mile
intersection.
off the road.
We've got an intersection where there's a straight crossroad, but you come up to it, and to go straight, you have to go over about 15 feet. Technically, you've got a left, a right, or straight. But I will turn on my left turn signal, and then during the turn, I will turn on my right turn signal. And Sarah's like, I think you just drove straight. And I'm like, I think you're right. But I did go to 90 degrees before, or probably like 80 degrees
45.
before going straight again. She's like, I think when you come up to that and a person's like, I don't know, I think you went straight. And I think she's right, but I still do it. Like, she's like, if somebody was sitting at that other intersection, which one? And you turn on your left signal, they might start coming because they think you're going to drive past, and then you hook into their lane. I don't know. How's that going, Jimmy?
That's fine. She's a lot better than she used to be. She turns
How many
16.
hours?
How many hours has she? Oh,
Yeah.
we don't keep track.
I mean, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, more. 10.
I don't know. It's hard to know because sometimes she's with her mom and sometimes she's with me, and we don't keep track. I mean,
What's the requirement?
40 hours.
yeah, I'm sure
Isn't
it's
it?
at least.
40?
Yeah. It and there's an actual scientific reason for 40.
There is.
Yeah.
Because that's how many days and nights Noah was on the ark,
Mm-hmm. And Jesus
or it
was
rained.
in the wilderness, and Moses was in the wilderness, and I forget, there's a bunch of them. No, 40 days, 40 hours of driving. There's like a learning curve that's like a hockey stick. And the vast majority of people have very low skill driving for like the first 30 hours. And between 30 and 40, their like skill level, like moving things from like the like front of mind, you have to think about it, to the autonomic, I think it's autonomic system, is like
Uh-huh.
pretty dramatic in that last few hours.
I would say she's closer to 20.
Yeah, she's still not automatic on her driving.
She hadn't she hadn't started on that hockey
She
hockey
hasn't
stick yet.
started on the uphill
She's
part of the
still on the
hockey stick
handle.
yet.
Yeah, but she turned 16 on Thursday, so
Man,
One
we'll
of
see.
Shaya's
is it
friends got her
like
driver's license and wrecked the car the next day.
my
Yeah.
girlfriend in high school did that.
But you could get
She
when you were in high school, you could get your driver's license at like 13 in Kansas, couldn't you?
nah, it was she was 16.
She was
She was 16
16.
or 17. She'd been driving, I guess. I think she'd been driving her parents' car. and she was wanting to get her own car. So they found this car, and it was like a cool little car. It was called a what was that thing? You showing off?
Yeah. I'm going to get a glass of water. I can still hear you. Oh, that's not
All right,
good.
let me think here. It was a Plymouth.
That better?
Yeah, it's good. That's real good. It was a Plymouth. Man, what was that little car? I can't remember. It was kind of a cool little car though. Little two-door, uh, like 87 or 90, something in there. Um, but heck yeah. It was it Oh, was it? Did they make the Duster as a little compact car? I'm gonna have to figure that out. I can't remember. Somebody's commenting it might have been that. Um. Anyway, so her parents, she didn't have all the cash to buy this little car. And it was, I don't know, it was probably like 12 or $1,400. And so her mom and dad were floating her on that. And they went and got it. And that day, the day they brought it home, she drove it she lived in like one town over. She drove it to our youth group Wednesday night, and then drove it to my house after church. So it was
Oh, there's that
evening
part.
in the dark. Oh yeah, that's a real nice part, Dan. And then uh she just drove it over. Maybe like she was friends with my cousin, and maybe my cousin wasn't at youth group or something like that and wanted to show her her new car. And uh drove it to our house after youth group, and then was only at our house for 15, 20, 30 minutes, I don't know, and left our house, and maybe 15 minutes, maybe like 10 minutes later, our phone is ringing, and she had wrecked her car like half a mile from our house. Just it we lived out on gravel, and she probably got too much speed going down the hill. It was like a long downhill, and then a little kind of little short up and down, and the gravel, there was always thick loose gravel on that road, and I think she just lost control and just rolled it, I don't know how many times, out through the field. It was a
Rolled it?
cornfield that had been picked. Oh yeah. Like there was not one piece of straight metal on that car. Every single panel was bashed. Her purse flew out of the car. Like she was wearing a seatbelt. She gacked her head a little bit on the door. That's it. And then her purse was probably, man, 50 or 60 yards beyond the car. Like on one of the rolls, it went flying out the window. So, yeah, man, I wish I'm gonna figure out what that car was. It was what it reminds me of is, do you
Sounds like it
remember?
was wrecked.
It wasn't what? Yeah.
Sounds like it was wrecked.
Do you remember the Subaru Brat,
Oh yeah.
the little truck bed car? So this didn't have the bed, but it was a real similar look. The front of it was. Um, man, late 80s. Small.
Dude,
Man, I can't.
those are kind of like an El Camino, only tiny.
The Brat.
What, the Brat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the. So it's the Rampage. So Dodge had one just like that called the Rampage, but hers wasn't that because it did not have the truck bed, but it was that style.
What are you eating there,
Cannot
man?
remember what that thing was called.
Do you think that there's any way? Because like, did you know that? Not to change the subject, but they have a 2025 Subaru Brat.
Oh, it's a concept.
Like
I'm
concept
pretty sure
car.
it's a concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's
Um,
in production.
and
It's not the Brat, it's the Baja, right?
I mean, it says it's a 2025 Brat revival concept.
Huh,
But yeah, I mean,
huh.
my grandmother had a Baja with the truck bed.
Maybe it was. So I'm not seeing.
The best
Yeah,
ever.
the Baja. Hey, huh, same.
That's what
Wait,
you
what
got?
do you have? Do you have the red wheat? Nah,
Soft red
that's
wheat.
the
That
soft red
counts too.
wheat, isn't it? That's so good. I don't have any of that right now, but this is the one barrel Lucas pick. Lucas Wine and Spirits, they've gone.
They're both real good.
Um, so if Subaru had a vehicle legit that looked like that, I'd probably consider getting it. But I was just
Oh,
wondering,
heck
like,
yeah.
um, you're like Darcy, you're kind of like the only non-lesbian that I know that owned a Subaru like in the
Well,
2000s and later.
I am
Is there
not
like
very
a
lesbian, but
non-lesbian is there like a non-lesbian Subaru club out there
Oh yeah,
in
yeah, I
Kansas
think
City?
there is.
yeah. There
Basically,
is. It's small, but it's there.
what what helps is not living in like Colorado and west of that. I
Yeah,
think that I think once you go out past Goodland, that ratio goes way
spikes.
up.
When you got to sit in the
Yes.
seat right, and you got to hold the steering wheel right, because if you're doing it wrong, then you're just part of the lesbian crew.
Dude, I cannot figure out what that car was.
I don't know.
It was like the,
It was a Plymouth.
well, it might have been a Dodge now that I mean, I can't find it as a Plymouth.
You think it was an 80s?
Yeah. You
I'm
know, a
going
funny
with
thing is you remember that, you know that little car lot that
here's all
when
you
you're
get.
headed down to Duggan Face?
Pick one of those.
It's so basically the fourth one down, something like that.
Plymouth TC3.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Was it a Plymouth TC3?
Mhm.
There you go.
Wrecked.
Which
Yeah. So
this is
funny thing
a
is,
Horizon, Plymouth Horizon, which is kind of that same style. Oh, it's the same. Plymouth Horizon TC3.
it had to have been something like that. Does it have another name?
Man, a car like
Horizon.
that needed to be wrecked.
Plymouth Horizon TC3. Horizon TC3.
What was the What was the Dodge version?
Let me see.
Junk.
I don't know. I don't know. I used to see one though. Uh,
Oh,
there was.
it said it said Dodge Omni, but that's not an Omni.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. It was wrecked. And then, she had to sit and she had to pay for it. Like her parents had just basically loaned her the money on it. So now she's got a wrecked car that she's making payments on, totaled.
Oh dang! Borrowed the money.
So it was called the Dodge
Hmm.
024.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think. It seemed like it had maybe um, it might have been like package name, like printed on, down on the rocker panel or something. I don't know.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
She said she totaled it.
Oh yeah, there was nothing left of it.
Have
It
you
was
ever totaled
terrible.
a vehicle, Darcy? Dan?
Uh,
Um,
no, I have not.
hmm. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, same.
I've had very few wrecks.
My brother totaled
Let
one
me
of my
think.
cars.
So I have
Your
been,
brother
well,
totaled
okay,
one of your cars?
Yeah.
dude, I said no, but when we were all headed down to Branson, I got rear-ended in
Oh, on that
Clinton.
in that van? Yeah,
Oh,
In
that
the
totaled. That was a
and
total.
we strapped the back door down with bungee cords. I could have been in a multi-car wreck, except that I looked in my rearview mirror and saw the lady just barreling toward us, just steered just to where when she hit me, it pushed me past the next car instead of into the next car. Um, that was like the sort of the beginning of Sarah's PTSD, because that would have been three wrecks that she was in that were unprovoked, not her fault. She wasn't driving in that one.
Yeah, in like a
In
two
like
months or something, right?
it was like, yeah, within months. Yeah, it was bad. So we've lost 3 vehicles to totaling.
dang.
Honestly, I'm not a fan of paying a lot for insurance, but we have had 3 vehicles totaled by insurance, not on our not our fault, so to speak. And we've had 1 vehicle that was hail damage totaled.
Ah,
So I mean, like, just depending on how you look at it, not we're not very we're not a very good flight risk for insurance companies. But since they all weren't all our fault, like, then none of them go on our record, so to speak.
right.
I had a neon.
I had a neon too.
Trevor thinks it was neon. It was pre-neon. Yeah, you and I had a neon.
Mm-hmm.
You had 2 neons.
Yeah. Well, Sarah, I was never on the title for the
Wait.
black one.
Oh.
I mean, we got married and she had
Well,
it
did she
already.
still? She still had that, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That got hit. She got hit in Colorado Springs in that one,
In the
and it
black
never
one,
made in the black one. It never made it out of Colorado
didn't
Springs.
come home, right? Yeah.
No, I
What
mean,
happened to the red one?
we didn't have a red one. We had your white one.
I thought you had a red one.
No,
Oh no, you had that red Civic.
we had a red Civic. Yeah.
That was
The
the Civic was what you drove home from Colorado. What she drove home from Colorado, right?
hmm We
Yeah.
bought it in Laramie, and we paid it off. My grandmother actually loaned us the money to buy it because we were just like without a car at that point. My truck was sitting at home with the transmission dropped out of it, and her
The
van
green,
was.
the S10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Old Art Stair helped me or he didn't help me put it in, but he got it from Dustin's father-in-law up in Nebraska.
Oh yeah.
The transmission.
The transmission. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And let's see, then I sold it to Andrew, and he drove it to California and wrecked
Hmm.
it in a rainstorm before he ever finished paying for it. And he never did pay for it. So
That's how I like to sell cars.
to family when they don't pay.
I think no, I haven't done it to family. I'm pretty sure. So we sold that white neon to you,
Mm-hmm.
but
I
you
thought we
paid.
paid you for it though. Yeah.
Yeah. But I've sold I sold I sold another Subaru, sold it to this kid I worked with, and that was a good car. That was 87 or 88 Subaru GL wagon. Push button 4-wheel drive on the shifter. That's the one that I was spray painting camouflage, which
Mm-hmm.
that was fun because I printed out, I looked at like a sheet of aerial view military vehicles camouflaged. And I was like, that old Dodge Power Wagon is probably the easiest to copy on this car because you have a large top view camo because of the bed was camoed and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I sanded it. I just hand sanded the whole car with a sanding pad just from Home Depot. And then I took Sharpie and marked out my pattern and started spray painting.
That's pretty
Never
great.
finished it. But
Did
anyway,
he pay you
I
like
drove that.
$100 a check or something for a while or something like that?
So, nah, he paid me. So I drove that thing for a long time. And then that's when I bought that old white F-150, my
Mm-hmm.
first truck. And whenever I bought that thing, this kid I worked with, he needed a vehicle. And he's like, what are you going to do with that Subaru? I was like, well, sell it, I guess. And he's like, I'll buy it. I was like, now, you understand that it's a piece of junk. Like, it leaks every single thing that it can leak. It leaks fuel, oil, antifreeze, brake fluid, transmission fluid,
Everything.
everything. The rear end's probably dry. Who knows?
Leaks air out of the tires.
And yeah, exactly. It did. He's like, well, it gets you to work every day. Like, well, yeah, but I take care of it. Like I baby it and I know how to get it. I know how to get it running and I know that I got to add oil and all this stuff.
And I also
Yeah.
know that I
Well, yeah,
need something
it's
else. That's why I got the truck.
yes. He's like, well, that's all right, man. It gets you to work every day. I'll buy it. How much you want for it? I was like, $500. He's like, okay, I'll give you 250 and then I'll give you the other 250 next paycheck. I'm like, all right. So he's like, can I go ahead and get it? I'm like, sure. So he comes to my house and he's gonna take it home. He's like, hey, could you leave them license plates on there? Cause I don't have any money to get it registered right now. I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Okay. I understand. I'm like, okay, yeah, good. So I pulled the license plates and he took it. And then, the next pay period comes and he's like, dude, I gotta spend the money to get it licensed and stuff. I'll get you next week. All right, man. Whatever, dude. And then, so the next week comes and he, Friday, he didn't show up to work. So Friday was payday. So he doesn't show up to work. It's like, where's Mudget? And Paul, my boss, was like, he's leaving. He's like meeting me somewhere to get his check this afternoon. And his mom just got diagnosed with some pretty bad cancer, and she lives down in Florida, and he's driving down there, and I don't know when he's coming back. I'm like, nice. So then he called me that night, like 8:30 at night. He's like, hey man, I gotta leave, and my mom's real sick, and I'm headed down to Florida, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm coming back or when I'm coming back. I'm like, all right, well, what are we gonna do? He's like, well, can I meet you somewhere? And I'm like, no, it's like 8:30 at night right now. He's like, okay, well, I'm leaving tonight. I'm like, well, I mean, you could have just given it to Paul when you got your check, and he could have
Yeah.
given it to me next week, but I guess you didn't think about that. Oh yeah, I should have done that. I'll just send it to you, man. I'll just send it to you. Just give me your address, and when I get down there, I'll send it to you. I'm like, all right, whatever.
And you're kind
So
of like,
I've
I
never
don't
seen.
really
I
care.
never. Yeah, I didn't.
I mean,
I mean, so anyway, never saw any money or heard from that guy ever again. Although
Did he drive that
years
Subaru to
later,
Florida?
nope, he already wasn't driving it because so that Subaru, the solenoid in the starter was like super weak. So when you start that thing, and I told him, I'm like, here's the deal, man. When you turn the key on, sometimes it doesn't do anything, but you just got to hold it to the start position. Like just on,
just hold it.
start, just hold it. And sometimes it takes like 3 seconds, and sometimes it takes like 17 seconds, and then it'll go. And so that's how that car was. It was just like, like you just didn't know. But, and he's like, okay. And, so anyway, he came to work. So already before he left, like probably earlier that week, his girlfriend is dropping him off. I'm like, where's the Subaru, dude? He's like, oh, I got pissed at it and I beat the starter off of it. Like, what? You beat the starter off the car? Yeah, I was mad and it wasn't starting, and I just took a hammer to it and just beat the starter off of it. I was like, dude, I told you that's how it is. You just hold the key on and it goes. I know, but I was pissed and I like whatever,
Man.
dude. I'll still pay you. I'll still pay you. Like, well, yeah, because it's your car now.
Dude,
But yeah,
I
he was a goofball.
not
Then
not
my next vehicle, that white truck, I sold that to my neighbor, and he stopped making payments probably $300 from paid off,
yeah.
and that was just dumb on my part. But also, it's the same thing. I'm selling a car for, I can't remember. I think I sold that car for like 1,200, or that truck for like $1,200. And
I got 9.
yeah, probably something like that. And so you just like, in a situation like that, I think when you're making the decision to let that dude make payments,
You know.
you're
Yeah.
deciding that if I don't get paid for this truck, it's not going to break me.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I
sold that
listened.
same guy another vehicle, so I don't learn. But he did. He did pay me. I kept the title for that other one, the second one that I sold to that same guy, and he didn't get the title until it was paid off.
I listened to a podcast today with a guy who kind of interviews.
Yeah, I
He
like it.
interviews a lot of different people, but his interview today, well, his interviews lately have been based around AI, and like there's like I think that if you're talking in the technology realm and people who have worked on this AI stuff and people who have worked for like Tesla and things like that, there's a heck of a lot of people who, because of the way money is flowing, do you know what I mean by the way money is flowing? Like, because of where money is getting congregated.
It's flowing
In,
out of my bank account. What are you talking about?
yeah, but here's the thing, like I don't think that most of, and I'm not, I'm gonna say I'm gonna use the phrase most of us to so that you guys understand that I obviously also don't know how money, like how to get my hands on a lot of the money. But here's the thing. There's a bunch of people who are post-economic. Do you know what post-economic is? Like they've made enough money that the idea
The
of like
fluctuation in the economy isn't like
the fluctuation in the
making much
economy
of a
no longer,
difference.
yeah, it just doesn't, like the chances that their resources are depleted in the rest of their life. They've already made the last dollar they'll ever spend. That's a good way of saying it. They've already made the last dollar they've ever spent. They would have to be fools with their money to run out. Even if things get terribly bad, because they've also put their money into assets and things that aren't going to go to nothing, right? So the problem with
Mm-hmm.
these people is that some of them, because they happen to have been in an industry that has just taken the whole table of resources, they think that they know how things will work in the future. Like they think that they can posit ideas that will be positive. And I'm listening to this guy talk today, and he's talking about cryptocurrency and he's talking about AI, and he's talking about the way that we need to build the economy after AI basically takes a lot of jobs. And one of the things he's talking about
Okay.
is how that in the future, instead of money like, so when we were on a gold standard, money, so to speak, was originated from commodities basically, right? Like
Sure.
gold, wheat, things like that, things that you could mine out of the ground or you could have and you could sell and they could be consumed. That's where the money was generated, was from gathering existing
Well, that's where the
resources or
value
growing.
came from.
Right. But now the way that we think of money is we generate money from debt. Like that's effectively why our government is so far in debt, is because we generated a lot of money to move around and to try to represent all of the goods and services, right? Well, this guy's talking about like in the future, we need to move to a society where like just being a person generates a certain amount of money, spending power, just because you're a human. Because a lot of the jobs, and the idea is, if this makes sense to you, a lot of the jobs, the vast majority of jobs, will be done by AI. And if the wealthiest people own all of the robots and the AIs, then there's really nothing, there's no way for peons to generate revenue for themselves.
So you
And
just shoot. Everybody just begins life with a value, and hopefully they live up to that,
Everybody,
and also they can deplete that.
more like everybody begins each month with a amount in
Oh,
their account to spend down. And the other guy's like, but the fundamental problem, and the guy who's doing the interviewing usually has a lot smarter ideas than the people who he's interviewing, to be perfectly frank. He's like, but if every person in the country, let's just say the United States, started every month, and on the 15th of every month or the 1st of every month, their account just grew by a certain amount so that they could go out and buy, he's like, yeah, so they could buy shelter and they could buy food and blah, blah, blah. He's like, but if that's the way the economy was, wouldn't capitalism still, because this guy's talking about how capitalism isn't going to like survive. He's like, but wouldn't the new capitalism just be all of the smartest people figuring out like a game, like how do I get the money from all the dumb people? And the guy who's coming up with these, and it's like the most obvious thing ever, right? Like it's not even like a question of whether that would be the new economy, because that's the economy now. The economy now is,
right.
how do I produce goods and services that other people will want, and they will say the thing that Darcy produces is more valuable than the money in my bank account, and they hand it to you. That's the economy. And if all of the dumb people, no offense to the guy you're working with, but like listening to stories, this is where it all ties together, about the people that you work with, and knowing the people that I've worked with, 100%, I am certain that there is still a numbskull class of people that will run out of money before the end of the month, even if it was given to them every month. In fact, they will run out of money.
There's no question.
The first week, and they will not spend it on food and shelter first. It will be,
there's no question,
hookers and cocaine, beer, cigarettes, hookers,
dude.
Cocaine, beer, cigarettes.
I guarantee, like
what
the guys that I worked with.
Why do you have so much faith in humans all of a sudden just because robots can do mental work? Like, why are you an idiot? That's like, how are you so smart? You have millions of dollars and you are an idiot. That's not going to work. Like, and I'm not going to be like, oh, the system is giving me a stipend that is just enough money to get all of my food and my shelter as long as I'm willing to live in an apartment in Kansas City. No, you're dumb. That's never going to work.
Yep. Well, it's just
Why
like, what's that game?
Right.
Monopoly? Everybody starts with the same amount, but eventually only one person has all the money.
The most ruthless person gets all the money. I mean, okay, like
Grandma D.
Like, here's the thing. Exactly. The thing is, like, I don't think that people fundamentally, like, people do not fundamentally understand money. Like, do you understand do you understand a stock value? Like Jimmy?
I mean,
do you understand?
Generally, yes.
Okay, tell me, like, okay, do you understand that Elon Musk on paper is like one of the wealthiest people on the planet, right?
Right.
Okay. But the actual freaking businesses that Elon Musk runs do not make money. Do you know that?
Do not make profit.
They do not make profit.
Sure.
So how is he one of the wealthiest people on the planet? Explain to me.
Well, it's
because there's value. Because there's value in those companies.
No, there isn't. There's no
So you're
value.
So he
saying
couldn't sell
Tesla
Twitter
is
for
a
$40
worthless
billion?
company.
No, you could not sell Twitter and SpaceX and X, or I guess that's this, and Starlink for a fraction of what they are worth. Not a
Valued at.
fraction. Right. Because here's why. Like I wish I had I do have a whiteboard. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna get the whiteboard. Okay.
Oh boy.
No, I won't. Okay. Let's say that you're Elon Musk, Jimmy.
Mhm.
You pretty stoked about that, right? Oh no.
Yeah.
Let's use Heath's business. Let's use Heath's business.
Okay.
Truck beds. Okay. That's somebody you know. He produces a valuable product. Agreed?
Yeah.
Okay. And he's arguably probably I mean, we know he's a multimillionaire, but like, is he 100 millionaire? Probably not 100 millionaire.
Probably not quite there.
But like, let's say that he's just we're making this up. I don't know, but let's say he's a 50 millionaire,
Okay.
and he has a privately held business, and that 50 millionaire status is because he's owned it for 20 some years. He's bought out his partners, and every year their business produces $1 million of profit. Okay. So now if he was to say, man, I'm ready to retire, I want to sell my business, he would go to a business broker, and the business broker would run a bunch of numbers, and they would say, the type of business that you have and all of the assets combined they're worth this much money. They're worth $1 million.
Yeah.
They're worth $10 million. Okay. Now, since you generate like the assets, the hard assets, if we just broke this thing apart and sent all this stuff away, it's $10 million, what you've created here. Now, you also make
Not valuing
million,
the
the
corporation.
not valuing so we're going to take that and we're going to set that here. And then we're going to value the corporation. We're going to say, and those things combined as one unit generate an excess every year of $1 million. Okay. So the way that they would structure that, and I'm not saying I know exactly, is something like $10 million for the hard assets plus 2 years or 3 years or 5 years of revenue. And so then they would go out and they would shop it to people, and they would say, will you pay us 15 million for this business? Will you pay us 20 million for this? Like, would you spend 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 years of the revenue to get the business? And one guy would be like, well, I value it at 20 because I have some ideas that we could use that business for, and we could, in 1 year, we could double it. And another guy would be like, well, if I was running it just like it's running, spending what they're spending, I could pay 2 times revenue. Right? So that would be, it's partly the hard asset, and it's partly the projected revenue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the difference, Elon Musk's business, Tesla, the reason that it's worth so much is because there are 1 million shares of Tesla in the public trading, right? And the last person who bought a share of Tesla bought it for, does our listener know? The last person who bought a share of Tesla bought it for $421.62.
Yeah.
So each share is worth $421.62 as of this moment, which means that whatever number of those shares Elon Musk owns, he just increased his value today by 11.36%. Times the shares. But do you know what the shares
Where'd the
combined,
11.36% come from?
I'm just looking at what it increased by 11.36% today. Oh, no, I'm sorry. $11.36.
1.21, 2.82%.
2.77 according to whatever this is, Google. But it increased by 11.36 per share. Okay.
Yeah.
But that number represents like 1,000x the profit per year. That number represents the same as if they said, Heath, we'll buy your business for the hard assets plus 1,000 years of profits. Did you see what I'm saying? Like, it is totally decoupled from reality. There is no world where Elon Musk can sell Tesla to someone for 1,000 years of profit. Tracking?
Okay.
OpenAI is the same way. OpenAI is trading on a promise of 1,000 years of profit or 500 years of profit or whatever. But the people who own the shares get to say, I'm worth this much money. It's completely decoupled from anything that's reality based. Whereas when you or I sell a business, if Heath sells a business, he has to actually prove to someone, only one person, that it's worth 2 to 5 years worth of its profits. And those numbers are contributing to why all of these people who are post-economic are post-economic, because they build these businesses and they say to all of us, dude, this Tesla thing, this OpenAI thing, this Palantir thing, this whatever is worth a lot. And what nobody does is looks at, oh, so you're going to make all of your money promising me 1,000 years of profit in the stock value. Well, I'm not promising you that. I'm just selling you those shares as if it was worth that. And it's not going to be any different when there's fewer and fewer jobs because of AI. The wealthiest people are still going to have a system in place by which they can theoretically sell you a shaving of their companies for 100 times what it's worth or 50 times what it's worth. And it makes no freaking sense. None.
It in one manner it doesn't make sense. But okay, it doesn't make logical sense, except for the fact that just like everything that's ever been bought or sold is worth what someone will pay for it. And so apparently that share is worth that, even though there is no like liquid to back it.
There's not only no liquid to back it, there is no way that they're going to ever generate that capital in real time. Like, the reason that the stock market can crash by 30% is because there's not really anything there.
Yeah.
Like, our system is so financialized that
our listener viewer, one of our viewers,
One of our viewers
which
disagrees
we've,
with what I'm saying,
yeah,
huh?
which we've had, no, well, slightly,
Okay.
180 years of profit is what
What did
he
I say?
calculates.
What did I say?
1,000.
1,000? Okay,
Yeah.
180. I didn't look it up, but it is
No.
what is that? 180 years. Let's say that the average small business sells for 2 years of profits plus its assets, or 5 years. So if it's 2 years, that's 100 times what it's worth. If it's 5 years, that's 20 times what it's worth. Am I saying that right?
40.
40 times what it's worth. So, like, and here's the thing. As long as you buy whenever it's here and you sell when it's here, you're happy. You don't care one way or the other.
Correct. Yes.
But like the
And
minute
your value remains because
because you
people
got
aren't
out.
selling.
Right.
People aren't buying and selling.
Right.
If everyone decided to sell, though, the money's not there.
No. I mean, I think our listener would be able to describe this more clearly, but like it's more evident actually, it's more obvious in the crypto scene because essentially a cryptocurrency asset is ultimately, there's a way that they track how much money has actually been, how many US dollars or whatever currency has been spent on Bitcoin. And it's almost like, and I'm not going to describe this correctly, it's almost like a law of thermodynamics in that despite the per coin value, the whole asset, it's only ever going to be able to extract the amount that was put into it in total. It's so bizarre. But like the share value isn't like 21 million Bitcoins at $120,000 each is a completely different number than the number of dollars that could be extracted if everybody started selling tomorrow. It's just a totally different, like they're not even marginally the same. And the thing is, like when people say like, oh, cryptocurrencies are just a Ponzi scheme type of thing. The only difference between a cryptocurrency and a business like Tesla is that there's a perceived, like there's a more universally perceived value to a company that produces a car than
Sure.
to a currency that, no matter how valuable, there's still not enough people who understand the value of the functional parts of Bitcoin. Like most people still don't understand the functional value of a cryptocurrency, even though there is not a functional, there is yeah, I guess it'd be a functional value. But
yeah,
most people don't understand the functional value. Anyway, how did I get on that? Dumb people.
I don't know.
Dumb people. There's you are not going to. Okay, this guy was, so back on this guy. He was talking about, well, we'll give I don't know who's organizing the system, will give every
The
person
government.
their personal AI. And I'm like, dude, everybody can have their own personal AI right now, which is what the guy kind of retorted with. He's like, no, I'm not talking about an AI that's owned by OpenAI or, Grok or somebody, but your own personal AI. Because like an AI, even an AI that is unplugged from the internet that you just house on your laptop now, has like 130 IQ. Whereas the average person has like a 90 IQ. And it's like, yeah, but a person with an 80 IQ isn't going to ask an AI that is smarter than it good questions. Like, it's not going to listen to the AI when it says, stop drinking because it's 2 o'clock in the morning. He didn't listen to his buddy Darcy. He's not going to listen to AI Joe.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Like,
not. He's still going to get on his horse and ride down and get another 24 pack.
AI Joe.
He's still gonna trek out into the woods and try to find his deer stand.
He's still going to do that. He's still going to be dumb. He wasn't trying to find his deer stand. He was getting his
The viewer
camera
makes a
apart.
valid point.
Okay, let's hear it.
The viewer makes a valid point. He's not going to have a choice when it's embedded into his head, into his brain. There'll be a company. This is the same thing where everything is thought out so that human interaction can't jack the system, except that then there's going to be someone who is going to it's just like when you buy a phone that is tethered to a service provider, and then you pay somebody to, what's that called when you
host?
No,
Or-
there's a name for it when you get your phone, like, I don't know,
Hacked?
they basically kinda, yeah, but there's a name for it.
Like when you
There's a word for
jailbreak it, or what? What are you talking about?
Yeah, kinda, yeah. That's
Jailbreak?
I think that's a term. I think there's another term for it though. Yeah, he says there's gonna be, they'll disconnect the motor skills.
Oh, you're talking about like the phone will stop you from the AI will stop you from
No,
drinking
yeah,
late at night.
yes.
It will like
Uh-huh.
what will
Because
that
it'll
be?
be
That'll
in
be,
control of your
yeah, that'll
motor
be
functions.
awesome. That'll be awesome. Like, okay, so I mean there's a good point. So like in the early days of science and medicine in our era, they were like lobotomizing people, right? Who did bad, like who did not function well,
Yes.
right? So in the future, they'll be like, if a person has below an 80 IQ, we're going to reverse lobotomize them and just implant a chip in their brain to get them up to the average and to force them to make good choices in life. And if you make bad choices, we're going to put a chip in your head that's going to shut down all of the functions of your brain that cause you to make bad decisions. It's basically going to overwrite your natural tendencies, I guess. I still think that like these people who have effectively no economic skin in the game are the ones who are talking about how great it's going to be, and it's like they haven't met humans, and it's like, guys, I don't think you met people. Like, you've never worked on, if you've never framed, if you've never moved baggage
That's
at
the
the
thing,
TSA,
man.
if you've never
You ever
done
eaten lunch
countertops
in a
or
quick trip?
like eating lunch in a quick trip for a week at a
Yeah.
time, like you don't understand humans. And there are way more of us that have done that than that are post-economic at this point. Like, besides the fact that like
that's kind of a main thing. That's one of the main dividers of people, is people who have had a labor or service type job, and those who haven't.
And even if you're intelligent, if you've worked in those types of jobs, you're like, dude, these people are not what you think they are. Like, you think that you put them in better circumstances, they're going to act better. They're not. Like, and
No.
I go back to it a lot, but I, as a person who can create good stuff in the world, like remodel a bathroom for someone, put a roof on someone's house, build them a house. If it comes to a world where anybody who has my level of skill has projects to do, but it's for people who are given money by the government, dude, I'll be happy to do it, but I better be one of the wealthiest people around.
Well, I mean, that's how it is right now already, is people who get government contracts
Right.
are rolling in it because it's a game.
But like, people really like the Pavas, as they're known in England. They really resent people who are doing well. And like, I'm not going to fix your toilet if I'm not doing 10 times better than you if you got this money for free from the government. You know, like, welder guy isn't going to come weld your thing if he's not going to benefit more for doing it than you benefit. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to
Well,
work.
what if you just go there and like just presume upon his good graces because you're friends and you know his dad and you like beat him
Dude,
beat him over the head when he was a little
I did
sissy
I
before.
did do that. I did do that. But
And so then he
did I
just
tell
does the work for you for
did I
free.
tell you about that? Like,
About what?
about how that went? Is that why you're saying
Which
that?
today's
Yeah,
or
today.
yeah.
Yeah, like, okay. See this? See this?
Oh, you got the template there.
I got the template. He also still has it on his CAD software. So if the
Sure.
other side of the frame breaks, we can just print it again. So we made this. We had to like do a vector file to where we figured out on an X and Y axis each one of these points. Like, we did like 30 points, and then he like rounded them out and stuff. Okay. And yeah, like, why would you spend, I don't know, I bet he spent 300 or 400 grand building that building and getting all that equipment. Why would you do that for people for free? Like, why would you produce? It would make no sense.
Because you love doing it.
But you can do it for somebody who
No,
can pay
so
you
here's the
well.
thing. Here's the thing. Here's where it's different from what you were just talking about. No one gave him that money.
Right. Nobody gave him that money.
So what you're saying is if the money is coming for free, if there's no ownership on one side or the other, it'll go both ways.
Right.
That's going to change the game.
100%. If you say what?
You said it was like California. He says, "What state is that?" Hold that thing up again.
Oh,
Montana.
I forget. Isn't
I
that
think
kind of,
it might be like, yeah, if you
it's
go that
it
way,
goes
it's
this way on the vehicle, but this is the shape that I was like, kind of
it's
California-ish.
yeah, California-ish.
Yeah.
I
Not
thought I
seeing
should
it.
I should get a I
I
should
think
get a
maybe that's a
pin.
county somewhere.
Oh, it's a county.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
I told him
Or
I'm gonna
Massachusetts, they said.
I told him I'm gonna put it on my wall.
Mm.
With a heart on it.
Is that sheet metal?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's just like leftover duct. We ran it, we made a cardboard template, then he made the vector file, we cut it with the laser, and then we set this up there and we kind of adjusted it, and when we made another one. This is the second one.
Oh, it's just so
Vermont.
nice.
Speaking of
It's what?
Subaru drivers
It's so
and
nice.
lesbians,
Yeah. And he made it out of 1/4-inch plate whenever we made
Oh,
it.
dang.
Yeah. So it's pretty sturdy. Maybe too sturdy, and the other side's gonna break now because this side's so
probably.
stiff. Probably.
Yeah. I mean, it only has what 375,000 miles on it.
I didn't even look today, but yeah, at least that. Yeah. Probably close to 3. It's a lot.
Nice,
Probably needs the oil
dude.
change.
Is that truck gonna make it through ASA?
Boy. I mean,
Yeah,
now that
kind of
I've got
has to at this
now
point.
that I've got a welder in my back pocket, yeah, it may.
I mean, at you're 75% there.
Dude, wouldn't that be
You
sweet if every kid
yes,
got to drive
but
it as their primary?
also it would be fairly awesome if you were like spending like $8,000 on that thing in order to make it last for your last kid.
Yeah. It may
Like,
end up being
no,
that
this is gonna be your truck.
it may be that I have to like get another one and we have a ceremony to transfer the spirit into it the next one.
Oh.
Because
At
I
least a
would
few
much
parts.
rather spend $8,000 on one with like about 150,000 miles on it.
What is that? How many miles does that current one have?
Oh, like well over 375.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I just caught a mouse.
In your
In
hand?
your hand?
No, I heard the trap snap in the kitchen.
That could be one of the kids, though.
It
Okay.
could be.
Here's a question for you guys. I'll tell you what I did after you answer. Okay. I walked into a house today that needed to be rehabbed to measure the windows. And I was walking around in the house and something caught my eye, and it's a pretty nasty house. Something caught my eye. I'll see if I can, I'll just go to it. Here we go. Can you guys see it?
Is it in a bag?
Yeah.
He was sitting there
What the
in a
heck?
bag
It
of
moved
flour.
around.
Yeah, it's moving.
A plastic bag of flour.
Of flour. And I set that butane or propane thing on the hole that it went into the bag of flour with. And I think it just like sat there thinking, oh shoot, I'm just gonna sit here quietly. What do? You
Maybe
just
it
let it
doesn't
be?
see me.
Do you just let it
Heck
be, or
no,
do you
you
go ahead
squish
and
it.
squish it?
You squish it.
I thought
Squish it
about
with
just
that
letting
hammer.
it go, but I thought I don't really want to be measuring this window right next to it, and then it like comes bolting out of there and like ugh, like creeps me out.
So did you kill it?
I took that propane thing and I just rolled it until all of the air was out of the flour bag. And I just held it there, and then I went boom, and it was like embedded in the flour. And I was like, I feel a little bad about this, but I do not want a mouse like running across my leg here in about a minute as I'm leaning over this counter measuring this window.
Dude,
So I feel like I
I'm
did
trying
it
to take some
defensive.
like drastic measures here because
Darcy's
I've
been
got
raising mice.
oh yeah. I think what is happening is my garage is infested because that's where like all my feed is for the goats and the chickens and the birds. And so there's like in the mice, there's a unfortunate amount of mice in my garage and in my chicken coop. And then they make their way inside the house sometimes too.
The
So
chickens
the
don't eat
house isn't
the
necessarily.
mice in the coop.
No, dude. Jeremy's do, but mine don't. Mine are just like, hey, why don't you just come snuggle up right here? Like, there's a good chance I could pull up my camera inside my chicken coop right now and probably see a mouse running around.
Nice.
Or multiple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the consensus is Connecticut.
Connecticut. Is that what it is? Connecticut. I'll look up Connecticut. Well, it's not West Virginia. That's for sure.
Connecticut.
Or
No,
wait,
it's not West Virginia.
is that West Virginia? I forget now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is it the universal sign for West Virginia?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought that meant something else, but whatever.
Well, you've never lived in West Virginia. Well, I mean, you got to have the
West
thumb out to
Virginia.
the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mountain Mama.
Yeah, West Virginia. Connecticut. Let's see. Shoot. Wait, that's
What was I doing the other day? I was talking to you on the phone and caught a mouse, Jimmy. What was that? What was that?
You were in the garage, I think.
Yeah.
You were in there. You were in there working on something, or trying to clean it up, or organize it, or whatever.
Yeah. Dude, we had one. So you know those big, huge squashes that we grew. So they have almost a sap to them. Like when you cut them off the vine, and we've got some of them out in the garage sitting there because the skins will like yellow and turn hard like winter squash, and then they'll just keep semi indefinitely, I guess, in the cellar or whatever.
Make a birdhouse out of it.
So, but no, then you cut them. You cut them in the wintertime when there's no garden growing, and you still got fresh squash. But they have like this sap that drips out of the stem whenever it's after it's been
fish.
cut, and we have a few of them sitting in the garage and just laying there, and the sap just dripping on the floor. So there's a few spots in the garage that are like this on the floor that are super sticky. A few weeks ago, I walked in the garage and there's a mouse just stuck in that sap crap,
Nice little
just
natural
stuck to the
slide.
garage floor. Yeah, for sure. Pretty funny.
Dude, that's my favorite. My favorite trap out at the rock house is one of those big old glue traps. Those
Oh
not
man,
the little ones. It seems like about the only
the rat
thing that I
ones,
can consistently catch mice on. And the rat ones,
dude,
because they get on it and they can't drag it away.
and they can't get off. Yep.
Yeah. Because the little
There,
ones,
so there's a
I'll go looking
property
for
that
them.
right, or the little ones, they'll like chew the crap out of the side of it while they're stuck on it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a property that I end up at now and again out in Leavenworth, and there's a house out there that's just empty. It's a nice little house, but no one has lived in it in some years. And so there's glue traps down in the basement there. And it's been a long time since I've been out there, but one time I went down in the basement and looked at those glue traps. I think there was one of those the bigger rat size glue traps it had like 7 mice on it.
Dang.
They come over to eat the other mice or something as they die or something.
Maybe. It was a lot.
I've definitely had
And there
like
was multiple traps down there. So there might have been like 15 mice just all stuck traps down in there.
I will put a little bit of food out in the middle of them, like just stick it
Yeah.
like peanut M&Ms and crush them or something like that out in the middle of them. Seems to help. But otherwise,
Yep.
I just do not have very good luck with those like field mouse type mice out there. I've got other traps that have been set
I
forever,
just
and they don't get them.
I just have a trap set 100% of the time back in the crevice, like beside the refrigerator, back in there, and I catch a mouse there every couple months, probably.
Yeah. You need to. I mean, mice. Granted, mice can grind through it, but you need to get some of this that foam, and just try to foam up a bunch of stuff in your basement, because they probably just free
Yeah,
traffic
so
through there.
that's what it is. Is they're coming? So I got crawl space under that area,
Yeah.
so it's just dirt, and I'm sure what the deal is they're in the crawl space, and they come up through the floor, like where the water lines come up through, behind the cabinets. So yeah, potentially I could maybe with like one of those long wand sprayer foamers, I could reach back in there and foam a few of those
Dude,
holes coming up through the floor.
did I tell you I got a 4-footer? I got a
No,
spray
what
foam
did you
gun.
have initially?
Like,
Did you have like a 24-inch?
no, I only had like 16s probably. But I got
Well,
a
yeah, but once
4-footer. Oh,
I
then you
thought
can
you
put an
got a
extension on.
long one a while ago.
I had a long one that you could then put an extension on, but the extension, when it
Okay,
dries up, would be done. The new
done.
one that I have has a 48-inch pole pipe, and then it has
Yeah.
about a 6-inch articulator, and it seals itself, so I can like reopen it and
Mm-hmm.
go over
Yep.
4
What do
feet.
you use it for?
So on my house, I'm getting ready to foam like every crack where the studs and the chipboard go together, like all the framing. And on a 9-foot tall room, you can get all the way to the top edge without getting up on a ladder or anything. And I figured the $100 I spent on it is probably worth it to get like just rapid fire all of that stuff.
Yep.
Because I'm going to use up probably 2 or 3 cases of spray foam on the house.
Dang.
Would be my guess. Yeah, I want to seal it up really good. So, dude, when I was out there today, he was talking about like different things he'd like to, like he's trying to think of products to make to have sitting out there because he's right on the highway.
Yeah.
Just so that like people maybe would come and buy things that he's made. And he's like, yeah, it's like, it's tough because like you're trying to figure out something to make, but like people with the internet, people can just buy whatever they want on the internet. You have to come up with something novel. I don't 100% agree with that. Like if you are right there on the highway, I would think that
Mm-hmm.
you could make targets, paint them bright orange and bright pink, and like set them out there for people to see as they're driving by, and people will
100%.
come see what you've got. Like I
Yeah.
don't think that having something that's like that they don't even know what it is because they've never seen something like it helps as much as like
Dude,
targets
if he's
or
got a laser
fire
cutter,
pits
a laser
or
or plasma or whatever
yeah,
he's like, if
laser
he's got
cutter.
a plasma table or whatever he's cutting,
Yeah, he does.
if he starts cutting 1/4 inch, like come up with or even rip it off of somebody else because they're out there. But dude, if he had a little stock of targets, both the type that you like, he could make his own little like flipper target
Mhm.
and base it on a T-post, dude, people would buy that because here's the deal. If you, when you buy it online, yeah, maybe that company online, that AR 500 or whatever, that company that sells all those targets,
Yeah.
maybe their product is going to be a hair cheaper than you can build it for,
Do you think though?
but
Because they
that
are
stuff is
expensive, bro.
freaking heavy. It's
Yeah,
freaking heavy, and shipping is
it's expensive.
expensive.
Yeah.
So if you are anywhere close to their cost and someone can grab it right there, I mean, I'm buying that for sure. If you take a cool little, like, you know, what would you have to be, inch and a half or 2 inch tube, and put some flip targets on that thing, so you can have like a speed tree, like a shooting tree,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and you make it so you can flip it over a T-post, dude. I would want it, and I don't even have
Dude,
a place to shoot it.
there's like, okay, Ash and Ember has the round targets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 targets, 3/8 steel, AR 500 steel, $109. It doesn't say free shipping. It says
What is
fast
it?
shipping. Just like,
Ash and
just like your
amber.
Ember, just like the hangers that you put 2 hooks on and they flop, but they
Oh
don't
yeah.
do
So
anything.
oh yeah. So that's another deal. If you made those are the ones that you have to go to Home Depot and buy some black pipe to set that up on. So
Right.
like you make the little circle with the two legs
Or you can
that
buy
turns
the
your
hairs.
5 pieces of black pipe. Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
He could come up with some sort of a system.
Dude, dude, I think so. I I don't know how much they generally are, but I would think that like if you came up with like your own design for like a like he can cut freaking like 10 feet by 5 feet or something like that. So like he can get a single plate of steel and set his machine cutting on it. And like I don't know how many targets can be cut out of a single piece of steel, but it's got to be a lot. And
Oh yeah.
if you went down and like designed your own like not peanut gallery, like plinking, like a 22 plinking gallery,
Hmm.
dude, like where you just like have your
Man.
own little shooting gallery set up and just sell a single like just one 22 plinking gallery. Dude, like rather than and like make it a little tougher than these ones that because the ones that you buy for 22 are they get beat up pretty fast. They're not very heavy duty.
Hmm.
Make the riggings for them like anything with shooting. I would think that right there on 50 highway, like make some like oversized ones so that when people drive by, they're like gaudy looking. The other thing is
Oh
like, here's
yeah.
the thing. As we're talking about it, I'm also thinking like he's the kind of person who's also like starting off and just wants the work. I'm like, well, what if you just were like, hey, I want you to make 100 sets of something for me? What would it cost to make 100 of these? And I'll go brand them
Hmm.
and sell them
Yeah.
somewhere else. Like I'll like you
Yeah.
cut my logo into them and we'll go on the internet and we'll sell them to our follower, you know? Like
Yeah. Yeah. We'll sell them to our viewer.
like we'll sell them to our viewer. Like
Well,
Like,
yeah, we'll probably do like a giveaway.
dude, here's the thing. Like, if I designed or we designed and bought, like, had enough of them made to, dude, I would freaking go do shooting videos of our targets like every
Yeah,
day.
of
Like,
course.
walk off my back porch and go. I mean, I would think that we could make money on something like that. Cause, like, why not? Like, do they have to be? Dude, I think that the AR-500 targets are expensive personally. Like, if you go into like Academy, and do they have to be AR-500 steel to shoot them with a 9mm, or is that just like
Dude,
I don't know about these things.
that's a made up thing, I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
That's a made
a
up thing.
single. Okay, $85 for a. Okay, 179 for a rig with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 targets, 4-inch, 6-inch, 8-inch, and 7x12. I would think that out of one of his plates of steel, and I don't know how much they are, you could make 60 kits like this. If you go up to the like full chest, it's $125 for that dude.
That's cool.
And then you've got your like target that flips. There's like that yellow is like a flipper, so you shoot it and it flips over to the other side. You shoot it and it flips over to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. My favorite are those dueling trees. If you could build that fairly inexpensively, which it's not a complex design. And like I said, if you can do that and integrate it into a T-post, I think that's like so simple because you just feed a T-post into the ground
yeah,
wherever, or you already have one sticking in the ground, and you slide that thing over top of it, and you're ready to go.
$50 for a pack of rimfire, $55 for the flipper that goes like
Oh yeah, those are
high-low
fun.
flipper. 109 for a chest-sized
So
target.
those little flippers, like what you just showed me, those, I mean, you might as well make some if you're selling targets because people will buy them. But those little dudes that are made just for a 22, you can buy those for like $20 at Academy.
Yeah, they have
So that one
those.
might be a
That's
little
too.
tougher to sell.
It's too intricate for the price. $30. They're $30,
Yeah,
$29.
yeah.
But I mean,
But if
a,
you make
a
it tougher, if you make it heavier to where you can shoot it with a rifle, or if you make the style that's a resetting,
mhm.
then you can easily charge more money.
So they've got one that is a chest size one, but I don't see the dimensions on it. 3/8 steel, $94. It is 11.5 inches by 20 inches.
Wide?
Hmm. So it's not even a full chest size. It's like a
Yeah,
small
I was
chest
just
size one
thinking
for
like
$100.
what am I?
Dude,
I'm like 16 inches wide.
it's like a chest like that big, 11 inches. Like, it's maybe the size of a plate carrier.
This is a 15 and a quarter inch ruler.
You have a 15 and a quarter with the ruler?
Yeah,
Is
dude.
that a real
Look at
thing?
that. Heck
No,
yeah.
I can't see that. Can't see that. I mean, I believe you. I don't think you're
I'm
lying.
gonna hold really still and pretend like my screen is froze up.
Where did you even get that? That doesn't even make sense.
Oh, it's just 15 inches, not 15 and a quarter. Dude, a long ruler, a ruler that's longer than 12 inches, pretty darn handy.
Yeah.
I use it when I'm doing leather stuff. Speaking of leather stuff, I met this
So
dude a
it's
couple weeks ago. His name's Spencer. And there was a chunk of leather hanging out. And he's like, "What's up with that leather over there?" I'm like, "Oh, it just got real nasty smelling. Just laid it out there to air out." He was like, "Oh, I do a little leather work." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, me too, a little bit." And so then what happened is it's like, um, it's kind of like if I sometimes go outside and I shoot baskets with my girls because they're playing basketball here next semester. And so I go out there and I like catch rebounds for them and chuck them back to them so that they can shoot baskets and like gain a little bit of skill. And it's like if I said I play basketball a little bit and then, but I was talking to LeBron and he plays basketball a little bit.
hmm
That's the difference between my leather work and this dude's leather work.
Hmm.
Like he showed me some pictures a couple weeks later after he was like, "Oh yeah, I like to I do a little bit of leather work," and I was like, "Oh, I do a little bit of leather work too." And then a couple weeks later, I see these pictures, and I was like, "You don't do a little bit of leather work. You are like a master. Whatever like the whatever the master leather worker is this guy."
Dang.
He showed me a picture of a couple of backpacks that he's made. Dude, they're probably if you could find a backpack of that quality on the internet, I can't imagine that you could obtain it for less than $3,000.
Dang.
I mean, and
Is this a
then
hobby
he's
or
like,
is this
"Yeah,
his career?
it's a hobby."
Hmm.
And then he showed me, so he's into like Renaissance fair type stuff, at least a little bit. And so he's made like leather armor, like breastplates and things, and like articulated shoulders and sleeves,
Dang.
and it's carved. So it's like got like intricate dragon murals carved into the chest plate.
That's
I
pretty
was
cool.
like, "Oh, I don't do leather work."
That's funny.
I
Dang.
thought you meant you do leather work a little bit too.
That's funny.
Wow.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's amazing.
does he have it online or anything, or he just does it?
I asked him if he has a website, and he said he's probably gonna like get a website going.
So he does sell things?
He has done some commissions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I just typed in handcrafted leather backpack, on the internet, and I don't see really anything comparable. Like, think of the coolest leather backpack you can think of, and this one's at least that nice. Also, he was like, yeah, and they're sturdy. He's like, I would have no issue catching because the first one he made it for his wife. He's like, that thing's 5 years old, and he's like, I guarantee you, I could hold on to the handle on the top of that thing and hold her out over a cliff, and there would be it. There's no question it's holding.
Dang.
Like, the stitching and everything is just gorgeous and strong and sturdy. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
I think it'd be cool to have a leather backpack.
You should make one,
I know.
but don't
Like
show
the
Spencer.
Like the Jesus one?
Well, I
the
want
Chosen?
I want Spencer to teach me how to do it.
If I see him again, which I think I will, I'll get him to send me a picture
Yeah.
of the backpack.
Oh man, I gotta go to bed, guys. It's
Yeah, it's
midnight.
midnight.
Last week
Okay,
we were
it's
up way
time,
too
isn't
late,
it?
and then I was up even later.
Yeah, we were, and we're
And I was
pushing
like,
it this week too.
yeah, we
So,
should go to bed so we don't
all
take
right.
2 days to
Well,
recover.
hey, it was a good night. We had let's see here. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 different people following us in the comment section this evening. So thanks,
Hey,
guys,
there you go.
whoever you
All
are.
right.
I mean, I know who 2 of you are. It said 7 at one point. Yeah, but not 7. 7 people weren't commenting.
They just stopped in to see what
Yeah,
nonsense was going on.
7 viewers.
There you go.
Yeah,
All right.
I guess. So yeah, it was a good night. Thanks for joining us and joining in the conversation. It's fun. So that's that. And we hope to see you back next Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
Peace.
Till then.